Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Hello, it's Thursday. This might be the last time we broadcast on Thursday, but we'll inform more about that later on. I'm Johan, and I'm joined by
Patric, the co-host, and today we have Anna with us.
Yes, Anna Kiefer, Chief Operating Officer at Digital Futures.
That's a fancy title.
It is a very fancy title. Welcome to our not so very fancy pod. Our backgrounds is record-breaking boring today, but that's how it is. And my swinging leaves that I had was rejected by my co-host. So here we are.
Sorry about
full focus on full focus on the people. Great that you could join us, Anna, because we have this idea that we want to reach more parts of KTH and also, if possible, outside KTH. And we have you here so we can talk a little bit more about digital futures.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm the one who should be sorry, so I'm interrupting you. But before we start, I just want to do the sort of the comment. This is our private views and opinions, not the official KTH opinions. So if Anna says something that sort of someone think is wrong, that's just our way out of a lawsuit.
Yeah, so it is. And as always, we do this live. We do it pretty unscripted. So we'll see where the conversation will take us. We have up to 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes. But Anna, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you, and how did you come to have this role for the project or the venture?
Well, that's a good question. Well, Digital Futures is a fantastic initiative, so it was very appealing to join. It's like a startup, we usually say. The Digital Futures was inaugurated last year, and it's a platform or an environment for research built jointly by KTH, Stockholm University, and RISE. And it's not only for researchers, but rather we really want to encourage collaboration with society at large and companies and public sector and what have you. And my background is, I worked with futures analysis and strategy development throughout my career. I think that's the red thread, but I've done a lot of different things, basically. And I very much enjoy being in this cross section of technical development and humanities. So I feel right at home at Digital Futures.
Cool. You mentioned Stockholm University and KTH, but RISE, could you just say a little bit about that third partner? Because it's a little bit less known, I think.
Yeah, this is Research Institutes of Sweden. So that is the abbreviation. And yeah, we want to have, different, we work with a multidisciplinary approach. So the idea is really to make as many different people as possible collaborate. And yeah, the idea is you can't just, well, you can develop a technology on your own, one researcher or two in the same field, but in order to reach real impact, you need collaboration. So the whole idea from the government that initiated this, provided funding through a decision in 2019, and designated KTH, Stockholm University, and RISE. The idea was exactly to make different organizations collaborate. But we, of course, go even beyond that, and we continue developing collaboration between different educational institutions, but also then with companies and public sector, and also internationally, although these three founding partners are, of course, Swedish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a very interesting, I read your vision on your website, and it said something like you wanted to create a sustainable society with not just sort of environmentally, but also societally through digitalization. And that sounds just like what our report is about, sort of. So could you describe some of the things you have been doing inside your Digital Futures organization?
Absolutely. We have a broad portfolio. We have this, the scope is defined through this research matrix that we have. We address 4 societal challenges. It's smart society with transportation issues and things related to society. We have digitalized industry with, for instance, automation in industry. We have rich and healthy life, which addresses healthcare, but also a rich life in a broader sense. And we have educational transformation, looking at both how digitalization impacts education, but also how education needs to be developed to meet future needs. And then at the intersection of this, at on sort of vertical ends, we have 3 research areas, which is trust, cooperate, and learn. So trust in the sense that we need to work with ethics and legal issues and things, beyond mere technology, and cooperate as in, different systems cooperating, and learn as in machine learning, but also learning in a broader sense. And we want activities to occur at intersections of this matrix. And of course, our research program is the core of Digital Futures, I'd say. And we have a range of different kinds of projects. So we have 9 collaborative research projects, which are big projects and that span over several years, and several research groups within each project. Then we have, for instance, research pairs, where 2 researchers from different institutions collaborate on a certain topic, and they tend to be younger researchers. We really want to reach out to all generations of researchers, and we want renewals. So we also want to introduce the youngsters and our future academia. So there we have a postdoc program, an international postdoc program, where we have young researchers from all over the world applying to run projects here. And we're developing now a partnership program with public sector and private sector. And there too, we have called for proposals. We already started a little bit, but this will increase over the next year. And in addition to this, we have seminar series that you're all welcome to attend. You can go to our website and subscribe to seminar invitations, and subscribe to our newsletter, of course, to get more information and get involved and get engaged. Digital Futures should be a physical and virtual meeting place for all kinds of stakeholders so come and have a cup of coffee at Digital Futures, meet other people, generate new ideas, find inspiring discussions.
That's just awesome. I looked at your seminars, and there were a couple of web-based seminars that I found very, very interesting. So I was I could have missed this, because there were some really nice knowledge there that I would really like to learn and listen to. So I'm definitely going to attend a seminar or 2 in the future.
And don't fret, because you can revisit them online. They are recorded, most of them, so you can, even if you missed one, you can still catch up.
Yeah, we like that. It's like a digital future. Everything is online.
Oh yes,
it's online. But this is really, quite a remarkable place to be already so shortly after the start of the initiative. How has it been to get the thing off the ground, so to speak? What has been challenging? What has gone easier than you anticipated?
Oh, well, it's been intense.
Easy question.
And a lot of fun. It's really, really fun. It feels important. There is real purpose, so it's easy to be motivated. Yeah, we just put a lot of time and energy and effort into this, and it's been fantastic teamwork, and also engaging on that. There's been a lot of interest from the whole research community at KTH, SU, and RISE and beyond, to get involved, get engaged, and contribute. So this is not the one-man project, but rather the opposite. It's a lot of teams working within this community to make things happen, and so many great initiatives, great ideas, and coming from different places. And yeah, so we have 60 projects up and running. We've had a number of calls for proposals. We already had this yearly Digitalize in Stockholm conference this year, last year, and even the year before. And DigiLeaders, Future DigiLeaders, a career workshop for young researchers globally to join. That, and both that and Digitalize in Stockholm we have run online this year and last year. With great participation.
Could you elaborate a little about the Stockholm conference? Digitalize in Stockholm? Was that the name?
Yes, that's the name.
Because I found that interesting too. We have those educate, research, and sort of inform the public society as the pillars of the university. So I found that interesting that you were so involved in society in that sense. So is that something you would recommend the university to make conferences for the public in that way that you did?
Yes, I mean it's a good way of reaching. I think KTH does that, or KTH has these open lectures that are open for society that are great. There is that initiative, but I mean it's always possible to do more, of course. And we have participated in this Digital idag, which is also directed towards the general public. The Digitalize in Stockholm conference involves stakeholders then from public sector, private sector, and academia. And this year we had 650 participants from nearly 50 countries. And we had fantastic keynote speakers, thought leaders from different parts of the world. We had panel discussions on various digitalization topics, and we had all of Digital Futures research projects presented what they're working on. So it was really exciting. And the idea was to try to have a vision 2040, like what do we see ahead, and backtracking what needs to happen in order for this future utopia to fall into place.
So what do we have to do to get to 20 years time to get there? What were the conclusions?
Well, it was interesting. I think if you ask me personally now,
that's what
the conclusion.
These are your personal opinions.
Yes.
No right, no wrong.
I thought it was really interesting to hear because there were many different speakers from different organizations and different countries, and somehow I sensed that and that was also a conclusion last year, that technology development is happening and it's exciting, and a lot of new technology is coming. The challenge is really to implement it, and then legal issues need to be addressed. Yeah. Oftentimes, for instance, when it comes to using data, I mean, you can do so much with artificial intelligence and machine learning, but you need to sort out the legal and ethical aspects. So, I mean, we have research projects focusing on exactly that. And then it is business models. So, for example, Sharon Lanier, this thought leader, fascinating person. He's really an icon. He presented some ideas on the future society, and really a real vision of where we have to abandon our traditional ways of living our lives. Basically, that you don't. Go to work and earn a salary in a normal when robots take over some of the duties, and we live in a more digitalized society. We need to rethink the whole idea of how we live.
That's pretty.
Sounds good, and it sounds threatening.
And he had solutions. It was not dystopic in any way. It was
nope.
It was a positive approach.
Cool.
Mm. It's super interesting, and reading up on digital futures has really led me to realize, wow, there's a lot of stuff here that I, as a KTH employee, should know, because this is like an important part of what we do. What do you think? The basic things that everyone working at KTH, what should they know about digital futures?
Good question. Well, that this is a fantastic initiative that we have been entrusted with this mission by the government, and that the KTH is a central player in this, and that we want to achieve the vision that you mentioned before, to shape a sustainable society through digital transformation. And that this is massive. It's more than a research center. It's really a whole environment for people to meet, for things to develop. We have significant government funding long term to make this happen, and that we welcome everyone, and we want all our colleagues to participate, and other stakeholders as well.
Of course. That's the. I mean, so the call is for everyone interested to also have a look at your website. This is the one.
Ooh,
I think
fancy.
it's very fancy. On Spotify, you might want to know it also. www.digitalfutures.kth.se.
Exactly. And there you will find information about our research projects, about new calls for proposals. Calls, I should mention, are open for researchers at KTH, Stockholm University, and RISE to apply for funding, but you can involve other stakeholders in your projects. And you will find information about seminars and about our postdocs and all kinds of things. So there is possibility to engage. And also we have these scholars in residence, so we invite guest researchers to come to Sweden for a while to share knowledge and organize activities.
Yeah. Are you
Cool.
connected to a specific school at KTH or SU, or is it?
Yes, or organization-wise, we're hosted within the EECS school of KTH. But we work with all of KTH, and all parts of KTH are welcome and are well represented in our various governing bodies and in our projects, and also, of course, Stockholm University and RISE. And as I mentioned, we have collaboration beyond this constellation. So in the beginning of this year, KTH, through Digital Futures, became partner in the C3AI DTI Consortia, the Digital Transformation Institute in the US. And yes, we're the first international partner within that consortia, the first international member. And there we are in good company with Berkeley and MIT and University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, for instance. So this is really exciting. We already participated in a call on AI and digital transformation for energy and climate. And we have 5 projects running now in collaboration with MIT, Princeton, UC Berkeley, and University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. So it's going to be exciting to see what comes out of these projects. And we want to continue developing collaborations with other countries like this.
Just wow.
Yeah, wow! This is remarkable.
Pretty good name to
me,
drop there.
yeah, that's pretty heavy. And how many are you administrating this effort? It sounds like it should be an army needed to be able to orchestrate all of this. But can you just give us a hint? How many are you who are Digital Futures, the sort of admin?
Well, it's a big collaborative effort. We have an executive committee composed of the faculty from KTH, Stockholm University, and RISE, and each one has an area of responsibility that they're supposed to drive certain topics, whether it then be the research program, diversity and inclusion, societal engagement, etc. We have a strategic research committee, again composed of faculty members of these 3 institutions. And 7 working groups under that each one represent one area each in our research matrix. So, the smart society, digitalized industry, rich and healthy life, etc. So they work on the sort of strategic direction of the research. And then we have an operations team of 4 people. And yeah, you can meet us at Digital Futures Hub in Oscarsbacke here at KTH campus. And with the partnership program, we're developing sort of bodies there as well, but we try to keep it a lot of, a bottom-up perspective. So we want ideas to be generated by stakeholders, and that people find each other and develop task group that can work on project proposals and other activities.
It's a super distributed organization. Then that's kudos also, because if you're only 4 people that sort of orchestrate all of this, it is remarkable. Really cool.
Yeah.
Cool to hear
we
about
get,
it also.
a lot of input and support.
Yep.
and hours from devoted people out there. So
yeah, absolutely. I realize that, but to sort of free up that enthusiasm requires a good way of organizing things. And our outreach tends to be very good when it's focused on research or education, not something apart from that. So this sounds also like you really sort of found the way to unleash the power of the researchers in collaboration with society through this. It really is interesting to hear about it. I'm
it's
very
fantastic.
impressed.
It's been thank you. It's been great, following the development and seeing it. It's fantastic to be able to sort of invite various stakeholders to a workshop or an event, and that that they find each other. There are subsequent meetings. Somehow it boils down to a topic of common interest, a common denominator, and projects evolve, and that's fantastic. And now that we're going to start seeing results from all these projects, it's getting really exciting. We also have, for instance, demonstrator projects, which focus a lot on impact and something that they will be able to demonstrate. So we're when they start coming to the end of their projects, we hope to be able to demonstrate things at the Digital Futures Hub that they have come up with.
Super cool. Time runs fast when you speak about something interesting, but we still have some minutes. What is on the horizon for Digital Futures now? What do you see in the say the coming year, like more short term and more long term? Where is the initiative going?
Forward.
That much we have gathered.
Forward.
No,
But
we want to continue developing, working towards our vision, of course, of shaping a sustainable society through digital transformation with Region Stockholm, the City of Stockholm, with company representatives. We will continue having the Digitalizing Stockholm conference every year around October, November. So please look out for that and please participate. You're all very welcome. And we continue with the yearly Digi Leaders workshop. We continue with regular calls for proposals and continuously developing new projects. And of course, making the most out of the ones we have, and work on communication, outreach, and dissemination, and both then in a research context and this triple helix with public and private sector and researchers, but also the general public. So societal engagement is important for us, and we will continue working on that.
So is it on your world domination plan to take over both Stockholm University and KTH, that every researcher is digital in 20 years? Is that what you're aiming
Wow. Well, we work towards digital transformation of societies. Yes, universities are certainly part of that, and yeah, we want to reach out as much as possible, but we don't necessarily want to replace every physical meeting or anything, but finding these hybrid solution and what works basically, and just helping companies and societies become more efficient using digital technologies and making it in a safe way. And yeah.
Sounds like a good future to me.
Definitely.
Especially if there are robots having to do all the hard labor.
That would
Yeah.
be lovely.
Robots can do
So,
fantastic things.
is there anything that we haven't touched upon that you think is important?
No, I think we've covered most things, and the most important message is, of course, that it's everyone. We need to involve as many people as possible, and it's a big team effort, and we want to run this forward. It's fun. It's fantastic. The research projects out there, get involved, build upon previous research, create activities beyond the ones that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, and the door is open. You mentioned it, so it's better that people reach out to you and ask rather than it's easy so to speak to get in touch with you and bounce an ID with you and see what happens.
Yes, and above all, check out our websites, see what calls are out there, what seminars, etc., and engage in that. And of course, researchers that have an idea are always welcome to send in a proposal under one of these calls. So it's quite broad in scope with this research matrix. We have all kinds of projects with the ones that focus a lot on sustainability. For instance, this Demokritos, one of our collaborative research projects looking at, for instance, water distribution systems to make them more efficient, seeing if it's possible to prevent leakages and avoid toxic toxicity, etc., and working with digital technologies in that context. We have a research pairs project focusing on cyber insurance, seeing that with cyber insecurity, I should say, comes new needs, and traditional insurances don't necessarily cover breaks in cybersecurity. So we need to develop methods to work with cyber insurance, and there are other projects related to that. We have health related projects, really exciting, machine learning when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, for instance, and improving diagnostics for various diseases. So there's such great opportunities with digitalization, and you may not think of it that way, but it really comes into every area, and there is such potential to improve society.
So that's a call out then to every researcher listening to this. If you're into a field and have an idea, get in contact, because you got a broad network as well with the top universities of the world. So that's a nice springboard if you get a nice idea.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Super interesting. I'm a little bit shaken almost because there you mentioned topics that I haven't thought about. I mean, cyber insurance, for instance. One would think that is already, well developed, but of course it isn't. So really, really interesting. And so nice of you to take time from what I guess is a pretty busy schedule and join us. And hopefully it will lead to a few more people finding out about digital futures and also getting involved. So thank you very much, Anna, for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
So this was episode 35, 36? I don't know.
This is 36. Yes, it's 36. And I think our roads will cross sooner or later again. So,
I hope so.
Until next time. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for listening live, and most of you after it's been live. And feel free also to contact me or Patrick if you have suggestions on guests or topics we should cover.
Yeah, and for the next episode, we're gonna change the live time. So until it was Wednesday, for what time was
14:30. 2:30 p.m. Because we used to do these when people were sitting in during pandemic and were bored when eating lunch, and now they are not so bored anymore. So we are changing the time to better coincide with how people are working. But thank you, Anna. Thank you all for listening, and
see you on Wednesday.
have a great continuation on Thursday, and see you Wednesday. Yes.
Puss och kram.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.